Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so as soon as you feel like you need to stop, then you can. Okay.
Vo2 Max Test, let's go. I'm not going to do too much of a voiceover this video, so you can get a real good feel about what the test is all about. According to my Garmin watch, my Vo2 Max is 72. Let's put it to the test and see how accurate that is. Remember, if you've got a Garmin watch like me and you want your Vo2 Max to be as accurate as possible, you need to be running with a heart rate monitor strap. Watches come with built-in heart rate monitors these days, and when you're not sweating, it's pretty much deadly accurate. But as soon as sweat gathers underneath, it becomes inaccurate, and that's why you need an external chest strap monitor or arm strap monitor. So the way we're doing this Vo2 Max test today is we're increasing the speed every minute, sometimes only every 3 minutes, but normally every minute, and we'll either get to 20 minutes or till complete failure. I want to push as hard as possible, so I'm hoping in a way that I completely max out within 20 minutes. But if I don't completely max out at 20 minutes, it'll give us projected or extrapolated Vo2 Max and give us an indicator of what it would have been had I completely maxed out. I'm currently deep into a Manchester Marathon training block, so I wouldn't mind not falling off this treadmill. I just want to give a massive shout out and thank you to the team at Vo2 Matrix. You guys are world class. Thank you so much. They're based in London. If you want to get a Vo2 Max test done, I often go for DEXA scans too. I'll put their details in the description below along with a discount code that can help you. So currently running at 4:23 per kilometer, which is about just over a minute slower than my marathon pace and a little bit slower than my recovery pace. Heart rate is 124, so just below zone 2. So if you've done a Vo2 Max before, or if you haven't, these are the two most challenging things I find. One is running with that mask over you. There's me giving a little thumbs up saying all is good in the hood. But it's really something that takes getting used to. Obviously, your breathing becomes a little bit restricted. And the other thing is to try and hold running form as best as possible. As you can see, my left arm, it's just to the side of the pipe. So sometimes it touches it. And I'm thinking when this treadmill speeds up, it ramps up to my max, hopefully I'm able to hold form with that pipe coming out. Up to 408 per kilometer, and this is probably around my recovery pace, heart rate 127. In previous Vo2 Max tests I've done, I've actually been harnessed in just in case we fall off the treadmill, but we didn't feel like there was a need for that today. I must say, mentally, that's one of the worst feelings I find, because you can't beat this test, you can't beat the treadmill. In a race, you know, you've just got to get to the finish line. Here, you pretty much run until you max out, or in this case, until we hit 20 minutes at least. The blue line you're seeing at the bottom is heart rate, and the green line is VO2. It's really good to get these tests done from time to time, and I highly recommend it. Obviously, VO2, a large portion of it is what you're born with. However, you can shift that barrier a little bit with training. Previously, when I've done this test in this lab, I came out just under 70, but I feel like I've made good progress since then, and let's see if we can beat that.
So far.
I'm wearing my new Boom Shakalaka socks and Takumi Sen 10s for that extra kick. I must say, when I arrived at their offices / testing lab, I was super excited to get this test done, and they said you're one of the very few people generally dread these tests, and I thought, well, you know, we're getting a test and a session at the same time, so we can't ask for much more than that. Still feeling comfortable, still very early days. As a coach, I often get asked by a lot of runners, is treadmill running a good? Yes, indeed, it can be a great training tool. I think you should do the bulk of your running outside because you race outside. However, treadmills can be a lot softer impact. So if you're returning from injury or nursing a bit of a niggle, it can be a really good training tool, and you're also able to keep pace very consistent. Let me keep quiet for a bit so I can give you a good feel for this test.
Okay, we're gonna up the speed again.
Heart rate is currently 161, so I'm working hard. The max I've got it to in recent times is 188, so there's still definitely more to give. So what this means, at a current heart rate of 167, my current VO2 max is 63.4, but that'll climb. We've got more to give.
Okay, we're going to move up in speed again. Absolutely smashing it so far. Well done, really, really good stuff. Final minute, really, really push. Okay. Good work. Keep it going. 25 seconds to go. Good work. Just 30. The last 30. Let's go. Really, really push. Go and we'll slow it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo, what a test. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, I would have liked to absolutely max out, but at the same time, I got a really good workout out of it. I wasn't too far off my max, and I've got Manchester Marathon coming up, so it was a solid effort. Let's have a look at the results. My heart rate max here says 173. I saw on the machine I got to 175, so around 13 off the highest I've ever got it in recent times. So at the time the 20 minutes had stopped, my Vo2 Max read at 71.1. I definitely had more to give, so the extrapolated comes to 78.8, and what that means is the predicted Vo2 Max had I absolutely reached my max level. But I did speak to the guys afterwards, and I think that might be a little bit lenient. I can't go around claiming that that's my Vo2 Max if I haven't actually been at that level, so we'll call it somewhere in between, probably around 75. Really nice to be able to get accurate zone heart rates from this test too. Here's a look at my heart rate and what Vo2 Max did as the test progressed throughout. So at around 160 beats per minute is when my body stops burning fats and turns purely to carbs. I could have gone for another maybe 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, I've put in that.
If I did, what maybe might have happened, something.
Hmm?
Cool. What, just for interest sake, what did my, I mean you'll tell me in a sec, but what did my heart rate max out at?
At peak, heart rate was 173.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, so the max I've got it to in recent time is 188.
Okay.
So there's definitely some scope to go up more, but I mean I wasn't comfortable at the end, put that way.
I mean, I think this might have been the highest peak VO2, i.e. like what we've actually measured at the last point.
Yes, for sure.
Because it's come up at 71.1.
Oh wow, that's what I measured today.
So that's
okay, so where I stopped it came up at 71.1.
Yeah, but it reckons, the algorithm reckons you've got more. Just
to remind you, my watch gives me a Vo2 Max reading of 72, which is not far off. I hope your prediction was close too. Thanks for watching, and go get your Vo2 Max test done too. Let's go.